This first AMI assignment, guys, is about the Middle Passage and the Atlantic slave trade triangle as a whole that we've already talked about. Remember the Atlantic slave trade triangle, Europe was the center where a lot of the manufactured goods in this world was back in the 1400s, 1500s, things like that. Europe was more highly advanced, and manufactured goods, if you look at the map here, would come out of Europe. They would be taken down along the coastline of Africa, down to the continent of Africa, and they would be traded many times for different resources. But one of the biggest resources was human labor, Africans. Africans would be traded for these manufactured goods or sold to buy manufactured goods sold to buy Africans. And then they would be put on ships and they would be taken across the Atlantic Ocean on the middle leg of this triangle known as the Middle Passage. This was a grueling trip, as we learned. Hundreds of people chained in the decks of ships, in the hulls of ships, side by side, very little food, unclean, unsanitary conditions. This was a nightmare for these people. And they would be taken across the ocean to literally just be sold first down in Central America and the Mexico region, and later up in what you call the United States. But they would be sold for labor, and they would produce sugarcane, cotton, different cash crops that are very labor intensive to grow. Africans turned out to be great for it because they could withstand disease, they were physically strong, and they just did better than Native Americans that were used as slaves by like the Spanish down in Mexico. And after these slaves would grow the raw materials or cash crops, those materials would be taken back across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe to once again be turned into manufactured goods and then resold back to Africa, and the triangle just continues. Okay. The Middle Passage, as I said, here's a graph that kind of shows you what a typical ship would have looked like. These people literally were chained down, very disgusting, very horrible conditions. It was about profit. It was not about people. You have to really be in some pretty dark places in your mind to be able to treat women this way, men this way, and children. But this is the Middle Passage. Now, that being said, the assignment you have, let me pull it up, is a ReadWorks. And what you have to do is they have a couple different readings. This reading here kind of talks about, it's just an essay that talks about the African immigration to America, the Middle Passage, in other words. Read through it. Yeah, there's going to be a word or two you don't know, but read for the meaning. Read everything around it and you'll understand what something means. Okay? It's not very long, page and a half or so. Read that reading. And then there's also going to be a primary source from Olaudah Equiano, which is a man who actually endured the Middle Passage and came to America by way of a ship. Then after you read the two readings, you're going to use the articles to answer the questions. This one here says use the article African Migration to Colonial America to answer questions 1 and 2. Okay. What made some Africans on the Middle Passage believe that they were bound for the slaughterhouse to be eaten by cannibals? You'll find that in the reading. Just put your answer down. It's pretty simple. The first two are using both articles. 3, you're using just the second article. 3, 4, and 5, you're using the second article only. So if you just follow directions, you're going to be fine. There's 7 total on here. If you read the stuff, you're going to be fine. Any questions? Feel free to shoot me a question, whatever you need to do. See you.